Having recently returned from patrol, the comrades of Lord Belt walked the corridors of High Hall, approaching. Having recently returned from patrol, the
All right. So, this is going to be episode 5. And once again, my mic is sounding wonderful. For any of you who have Lenovo computers out there, laptops, be aware they automatically disable. They ship your... Oh, well, what the heck's going on here? Oh, here we go. Here we go. I had to turn that off. You got me talking. I'm leaving it in. So, yeah, YouTube, not YouTube, Lenovo. There we go. That's the right thing. Lenovo has a real issue with its mics. And probably shouldn't waste precious minutes talking here because it's already recording 2 minutes in. All Lenovo mics are muted because of how Lenovo handles the Windows mic enhancement option. There are several videos out there that talk about Lenovo microphones. And just search them on YouTube. They're all over the place. You actually have to disable. You have to go into your microphone properties. Manage sound things. Device manager. Double click on that. Open up sound. Open up your microphone. And you actually have to disable the Windows automatic adjustment. If you don't, it sounds like you're underwater. That's what it sounds like. So, PSA, 3 minutes talking. That's about it. So I'm going to be watching a movie while I play. I'm going to be having fun, chilling out, and when I respond to chat, I'll be pausing the video. So I always think it's kind of weird to have random responses to chat when people can't see the chat. And I'm not going to make chat visible in my videos for a couple of reasons. Anyway, so yeah, to anybody who is out there, I will stream from time to time, surprise streams. Turn on the little bell notification in the YouTube thing. This is for the future. Obviously, these are with a fresh new YouTube account. So in the future, for all of you future people, like, comment, subscribe, little bell notification thing, share, or the mists may consume you. All right, let's get going. Let's start playing. Jump cut. He won't talk, nor does it look like he cares to move from that chair of his. The best that can be done is to let him sit and stare away whatever years are left to him. It would seem some places we are not meant to enter, regardless of our efforts. Best to waste no more thought nor muscle on this door, but to move on. Jump cut. And I'm watching Pee Wee Herman. I love this new Pee Wee Herman movie. That's not an advertisement, I'm just saying. gotta unmute the mic, Kevin. All right, so let me read this. In this foreboding place, I'm not surprised when a young girl won't speak to a stranger. It's unlikely she could offer information of use in any case. The wisdom of the town does not lie in the heads of its young. All right, so I had some fun. I hope you guys did too. It's just basic dungeon crawling in the warehouse district. I wanted to show people how basically you really should clear the warehouse areas, and that is specifically the warehouse district. All of the other decrepit-looking buildings aren't actually warehouses, and there is a difference in the type of monsters. In the more decrepit-looking buildings, you're going to get some bandits and whatnot. Usually you just get people like the old paladin or cleric, whoever it was, who was just shattered emotionally. But that's Ravenloft, and I'm so glad that I don't actually live in Ravenloft. Anyway, so let's end it here with what will be a perfect screen cap. The village of Barovia. Warehouse District. Have a good one. All right, so everybody that's out there, I have to take another short break again. Make a phone call. Hey everyone, I'm just, I had to make a phone call. That's done. And, my kitties are all yowling at me because I have the door open and I won't let them go outside. So, I'm trying to find something to watch. I just have to take a short break. I had fun playing that, it'll be the newest video. I want to make at least 3 new videos to go up over the next few days. Um, then I think, I don't know, I might play Doom or something. I might play something that's fun. See if I could get some people to come in, say hi. I know I may have 1 or 2 viewers going on right now. They may be bots, I don't know. I'm treating all of you as individuals. And if you're a bot, bots are humans, are people too. So, let's see here. Am I allowed to watch? Oh, no. You know, I really hate that I can't stream CW live. I really wanted to watch Stargirl. The Carrie Diaries? What the hell is that? Is that about the crazy girl who kills everybody? No, it's not. That's a crazy show. I almost feel like putting on some Vincent Price or something. You can stream and watch that. Public domain movies. Anyway. Hello, 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 hello. All right, sorry for that silent opening. Apparently the music killed out right when I clicked record. So, let's see here. You guys saw what I was doing. You guys saw all the cool stuff that had been going on. Let's see. God, I keep right-clicking on things to open them. Okay, that's the... Oh, look at this. Look at this. And yes, you could put bags within bags. Sorry, my sweetheart baby boy. I'm not going to let you out. That's my sweetheart kitty that I rescued. He wants to go outside. I'm not going to let him outside. Always detect magic. I'll detect magic later. All right, let's start gaming. All right, the old paladin. I love this quest. Option number 1. What is it, old one? You have the look of one about to confess or to hear the sentence of his lord. Option number 2. Are you ill, old one? Is there any medicine we might offer? Why the hell am I calling people old? That's like the rudest thing. I burst into this guy's house and say, "You're old! Hey, oldie! You're the olds. You got a case of the olds. You got snow on your head. And by the way, your eye. You got something sliced your eye apart. Isn't this a world of magic? Can't you replace your fucking eye? Regrowth. Jesus. Let's see what he has to say.
No medicine can restore my faith. I threw it away and my future with it. The order of my youth gave me a great gift, the rights and title of paladin, to be used for the good of man. As if my spirit and the title were one and the same. Ravenloft! Trapped within these vile borders, my warrior faith turns slowly into the cynical villainy of an old man.
You got problems. Okay, actually, really, option 1. By the way, I chose option 2. So option 1 is there no way you can make peace with your fates? I actually think you get the same response. I don't ever remember getting different responses when I ran through here. There are only a couple times where you get slightly different responses, but they all lead to the same quest and whatnot. This was like the very beginning of the idea that you could say different things to people and get some variations on response in video games. You didn't really have the multiple quest line endings in too many video games that you do now. Now you've got like 10 different endings. You were lucky to get 2 endings. Game over and restart. There's some games where you died. You get a game over. Just restart it, right? So, I guess, you could get like game over or restart or if you were lucky. Usually you only got like, you win or you died. I don't know. If you got you win, that would be great. Pac-Man, you don't even win with Pac-Man. You just get game over. So, Yeah, like I said, Pac-Man's 84, 85. This is like 90 something. But still, you get the point.
I will die. My last breath will escape my lungs like the howl of a demon, and I will roam forever in the darkest lands of the underground, or wherever traitorous paladins might go. Though to be eternally stretched on the rack would be mercy. Still, I might yet wish to make peace. Can I put my spirit happily to its rest?
So option 1 is you appear in no condition to go on a quest. If you are to have peace, how will it come? Option 2 is you do not look like a man who needs pity. What is it I might do to help with my hands and heart? I'm going to choose number 2. I don't even know what the other option was. Did I even read it? I don't even think I read it in that previous cut. There's really like nothing to read. But this one was, I'm going to pick number 2.
Find the holy symbol I abandoned in chambers lost beneath the village of Barovia. Return it to me, and I will provide you with all the wealth of my secret chamber. Items none will ever see, save those who bring to me the holy symbol I so foolishly tossed aside.
I've heard nothing of chambers dug beneath the village. How will I ever face them? They're actually they're pretty brutal. Unless you get some pretty lucky rolls. I don't even know if my characters have leveled up yet.
By looking where a man might never see. This eye patch. Beneath it lies a map to the catacombs. Yet this alone is not enough. First, in my old shack, you will find a footman's pick. Take it north of here, where a withered stump marks the position of a buried key. Stand to the west of it and dig. With the key and the map, your quest for my symbol may begin.
Now, was that an actual bandit or just somebody protecting his home from a bunch of people who burst into his house? I mean, how the hell is he to know that we're good adventurers? No, we just burst into his house He attacks us, we're home invaders, and we just kill him in his own home. That's the only thing that has always bothered me about role-playing games. You could just enter anybody's house, and if they attack you, you're justified in murdering them. You're the home invader here. Ha! I would have thought the old one would have something to say. Aren't old men with gray beards the first to tell their stories to passerby? What has befallen a land where those who have nothing to lose won't part with a simple smile? My silly kitty, you just want to be part of my videos, don't you? He is a beautiful kitty, and I may make a video about him, about my sweet man. Anyway. Maybe unprofessional for me to allow my sweet little man insert himself into the videos, but I am going to be unprofessional. He's a wonderful kitty. His name is Fluffy. His original name was Target because the woman who owned him liked guns. She named cats after things regarding guns, and she called him Target. And he loves being with people, but he ran away from her. And he tried to help save two beautiful little kittens. And one of them just passed away. The other one's still alive. One who passed away died because of a vet's malpractice, and it's been really, really tough. It just sucks. It just sucks. So, yeah, that's a truth bomb. But I just wanted to say, at least I gave him a home. And please remember, treat other beings, living beings, with careness and respect, you know. No, I'm not vegan. I'll still enjoy a cheeseburger. Okay, let's get back to playing the game. I hope she talks more to her husband and children than she will to us. Then again, twice nothing is still nothing. There must be others in this town more willing to part with a few simple breaths it will take to speak with us. We'll find them. That's right, I remember this place. It's the actual exit from the catacombs. That little black area is the trap door. that's how my mute keeps going up. I keep pressing the button. That's interesting. So for any of you who have heard random things being said by my kitty, the mute button hotkey, I'm accidentally touching it with my hand. Remember who told you this, that the whole ruined land is a trap? Look, the shutters are closed as if they haven't been opened in years. Don't these people breathe? Village like this, timber and plaster buildings, 2 stories high. There's one that's 3, could hold 1,000 souls, and they are afraid to come out from behind those whitewashed walls. Oh, that's supposed to be a question. Those whitewashed walls, and they are afraid? Yeah, okay. Interesting.
Yes, I know, but you're not going outside, sweetheart.
That's what he's asking for. Not the friendly sort, not him. No, wouldn't spare a moment to speak with a stranger. What is it that has robbed these people of their common courtesy? My hands have gone cold and my heart with them. I'm afraid the chill of this place will make for a cold welcome once we're inside.
Yet, in tasting the will of this body, I know you to be different than those who slew us long ago. My name would have been Strobel then, a humble jeweler. He earned his keep by the skill of his hands, content in both life and the love of his wife and children. Now I am vengeance, unappeasable, unwilling to forgive. I have risen up to exact revenge on those who murdered us. And though I will not kill you, I will use you. He who took our lives was called Victor Grimming. In the years to follow, he became rich, a powerful man capable of escaping all justice. At last, it is believed he escaped death itself and rules still from the darkness of his own tomb. Go to the cemetery and find you there a lord of ghouls, the undead murderer of my family. Destroy Grimmy, or I will turn my inner appetite for vengeance upon you!
Sorry, I accidentally fumbled there with the mic and the desktop thing. You know, the mute button. But here, I've got 2 things to say. And, oh my god, I wish I had saved the game. This is a... Yeah, I know, sweetheart. This is a frustratingly terrible quest because he winds up possessing you. And you have to do what he needs. And my characters are not big... They're not high enough in level. So, option number 1. How did you come to this if you were once, as you say, a humble jeweler? And option number 2 is, will you release us from your influence once we have done as you command? I think we have to ask both, do both things.
Thieves in the night. They came for stones, for amethyst and agate, for opal and emerald. These I gave them freely, yet their leader, Grimmett, chose a dark course and stole from us our precious lives. I begged, but it did not stay their evil hands. I have sought them all out. All are gone, save one. Grimmett, the Ghoul Lord. Some humanity remains in this, my fearsome presence. Yes, destroy the Ghoul Lord, and you are free. Further, I will share with you a secret. Go now, fight, live, and return.
Alright, and this looks like it may be a good place to end this video. Because I have to go to the freaking graveyard now, and I don't feel like doing that right now tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and I might play some Doom or something else, and I'm gonna go ahead and have some fun here. Oh yeah, that's the locked door. And yep, that's it. So I'm going to rest and see what happens if I rest while I have poison. I can't remember what happens. Let's see here. Pray and heal. Yep. Yeah, it just keeps healing up. The poison never goes. I need neutralized poison. I know I have a neutralized poison scroll, but I don't want to waste it. Oh, and did I just enter... There we go. You can press escape. So what you saw was an infinite loop. You can press escape to exit the loop, because it will constantly try to heal you and you constantly take damage. So, yeah, I think I'm going to end it here. Let me go outside and save. And then the next video will be killing Grimmett. Oh, where's the exit here? Let's see here. Alright. That'll be a good place to save right here. So, thank you all, and I hope you have a wonderful evening, and thank you for bearing with my sound issues. Take care.
Adventures of the Saint, starring Vincent Price. The Saint, based on characters created by Leslie Charteris and known to millions from books, magazines, and motion pictures. The Robin Hood of modern crime now comes transcribed to radio, starring Hollywood's brilliant and talented actor Vincent Price as the Saint.
All right, I'm coming. Wait until I put my head on, can't you? You? Well, this is an unexpected displeasure.
I gotta talk to you, Saint, quick. Let me in.
All right, Blanco. But I'm surprised at you. 4 o'clock in the morning is no time for a man in your profession to pay social calls.
Like I say, I gotta talk, and you gotta listen.
I'm listening.
They got a job gonna be pulled tomorrow. Today, I mean. It's a big deal, Saint. Big deal.
Oh, I'm glad. I'd hate to think you'd retired from crime, Blanco. It would throw so many deserving policemen out of work.
It's a dirty deal. Filthy.
Sounds like something right up your alley.
Not this kind of thing, Saint. This is one line I draw. And it's a straight line, you hear?
Yes, I hear.
Before I know what the score is, before I know who they're going to use it on, I rig it. The best job of its kind I ever do. It's going to work. And he ain't going to leave a trace.
Yeah, I should never have had that spumoni right after a lobster dinner. Blanco, do you think if I get up and take some bicarb, you and the rest of this dream will go away?
Listen to me. I can't go to the cops. You're the only one. You gotta stop it, Saint. You gotta.
I gotta?
Yeah, you gotta. And you only got till noon.
Blanco, at the rate you're painting this picture, it's going to be at least noon before I know what it's all about.
It's about murder.
Oh, well, let's get down to personalities. Who is going to be murdered by whom, why, and how? Let's have the name of the potential victim as an appetizer, huh? We'll get down to the main course later.
That calls for a kind of complicated answer.
It was kind of a complicated question. But do your best. Neatness counts.
You remember Frank Kane?
Of the Chicago Canes? Of course. Who could ever forget the inventor of the game of encase your friends in a barrel of cement and dump them in the river?
You'll remember.
Yeah, I also remember that when the federal men were just about to catch up with him in Central America a few years ago, he was discourteous enough to die a natural death.
Yeah. Somebody died in Central America 3 years ago.
Not Frank Kane?
There are places where a buck here and a buck there can get any moniker you want on a death certificate. And Kane had plenty of bucks. And getting the corpse to planting that same moniker is easy.
So Frank Kane's still alive?
Yeah, he's alive. But that ain't all. He used to... Wait. You hear something?
What sort of something?
Someone move in the hall.
Now pour yourself some brandy and try and get your nerves back into waltz time, eh, Blanco? Now, look, what about Frank Kane?
You sure you didn't hear something? Where are the lights? Oh, turn off the...
Down, get down. Blanco.
Talk later. What about me? The girl. Don't let them kill her.
Who, Blanco? Who?
She on way to party. God, Saint. God, don't let it.
It's good to see you again, Mr. Templar. And here I've been thinking you'd given up after I was drinking.
I just about have. And it's a pity because I like this bar of yours, Morgan. Why don't you make an honest saloon out of it and open up during legal hours?
My customers would never stand for it.
No?
My customers all learned to drink during Prohibition. In speakeasies. The way they look at it, a drink just doesn't have any kick in it if it's legal.
Yeah, and this is the part of the lost generation that's still lost, eh?
Would you like the table?
Just some information.
Yes?
About a year ago, when I was one of your regular patrons, a lady used to frequent this place.
A lady in this place?
Her name was Violet, and so was the color of her hair. She used to sit at a table around the bend there and make tender speeches to a bottle of scotch. Do you remember Violet?
Indeed I do.
Where can I find her?
At a table around the bend there, making tender speeches to a bottle of scotch.
I should have known. There was a love that was fated to last. Thanks, Morgan.
You're welcome, Mr. Templer.
Hello, Violet.
Go away.
Oh, now that's no way to treat an old friend.
Oh, friend, you're no old friend. Don't have friends. Go away.
You mean you've forgotten me?
What's your name?
It's an old Scotch name, 8 years old.
Sit down, friend.
Thank you. Hey, waiter.
Yes, sir?
The usual for the lady, doubled, hmm?
Coming right up, sir.
Sit down again, friend.
Thanks.
No.
Look, speaking of friends, whatever became of Louis Blanco?
Blanca?
Mm-hmm.
You friend of Blanca?
A former friend.
What do you want for? You cop?
No. I have some money for him.
Money? You owe money? What for?
Well, he did a job for me.
Job? How about?
I'd like to pay him before he gets the wrong idea. Where does he hang out?
You don't know?
What?
About the job he got, the garage.
What garage?
Central Garage, 55th Street.
Oh, yes, of course.
Here you are, sir.
My old friend.
Violet, look, tell me something.
You know I like you.
Yeah, I like you, Violet. But tell me, why does a fellow like Blanco hang around a garage?
You don't know?
No.
You're no friend of Blanco's. You're a cop. You're pumping me for him. Let's have a drink.
Yeah, let's. How's Frank these days?
Frank?
Yes, if you know Blanco, you certainly must know Frank. Blanco used to work for him in the old days. Frank came, remember?
How do you torture me like this? You know Frank's dead.
You sure?
Sure. I ought to know whether or not I'm a widow. Why do you think I drink like this? Why do you think...
Oh, look,
Go away, go away.
Wake up. Hey, come on, wake up.
Huh? Oh, guess I fell asleep. Gets kind of lonesome here in this garage all night.
I'm sorry I woke you.
That's okay, mister. You bringing a car in?
No.
Taking one out?
I just want to talk.
You woke me up just to talk to me?
Well, you said you were lonesome. What do you know about a man named Blanco?
Blanco. Customer?
I thought perhaps he worked here.
Nobody by that name here, mister.
You sure?
Sure, I'm sure. There's 4 of us working here. Me, Ed Williams, Pulaski, and that new guy, Stevens. We take turns working nights. Tonight was my turn.
The new man, Stevens, what does he look like?
Look, pal, why don't you give a guy a break?
Huh?
So he did time once. Is that any reason for you cops to come checking up on him every time you got nothing else to do?
What does he look like?
You don't get any help from me. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I believe in helping the law, but not when it starts hounding a guy.
And I'll give it to you straight, friend. There was a murder committed tonight.
The chances are the guy you're asking about had nothing to do with
If
it.
Stevens and Blanco are the same man, he had a lot to do with it.
What, you think he killed somebody?
He's the corpse.
He's dead?
What did he look like?
About medium height, dark hair, dark eyes, sort of dark complexion.
He's dead. That's Blanco.
Gee. Well, who did it?
That's what you're going to help me find out.
Me?
Mm-hmm. What did Blanco do around here?
Same as we all do.
Sleep?
We're mechanics, mister. Last night was the guy's night on. It was supposed to be my turn, but he asked me to swap with him.
Last night, eh?
Yeah, so I swapped. It made no difference to me. He made out like it was important.
What did he work on while he was here last night?
Now, how should I know?
Don't you keep records?
Well, sure.
Well, then that's how you should know.
All right, come on in the office.
All right. This is your record file, huh?
Yeah.
Yep, here's the report. Yesterday's date. Mechanic, Stevens. Lou's job, Andrews.
Oh, yeah, that's that Hudson Hornet out there. Belongs to a real classy chick.
Here's another report. Engine tune-up. Maddox.
Maddox. Oh, yeah, that's a foreign job. The chauffeur-driven bus over there, but, that's funny.
Oh, why?
Oh, I tuned the engine on that heap only 3 days ago, and I did a good job. Why should they want it done again?
Let's go take a look. Maybe we can find out.
Yeah. Yes?
My name is Templar. I'd like to see Miss Maddox, please.
Miss Maddox?
Mm-hmm.
Miss Virginia Maddox?
Yes, please.
Well, forgive me for being inquisitive, sir, but it isn't quite 8 o'clock yet. A little early for a social call. Are you acquainted with Miss Maddox?
We went to school together.
You did?
Who is it, Carson?
There's a gentleman calling on Miss Maddox.
What's that? Calling on Miss... You wish to see Miss Maddox?
Yes, but I didn't realize I'd create this much of a sensation. I must remember to include I'd like to see Miss Maddox in my repertoire of startling things to say.
Well, I'm Mrs. Anders. I'm in charge of this household. Do you know Miss Maddox?
The gentleman went to school with Miss Maddox.
He went to school with her?
That's what he said.
You know, there's something about all this that reminds me of the time a friend of mine tried to negotiate a federal loan.
Oh, show the gentleman into the library, Carson. I'll go call Miss Maddox.
If you'll just be seated, Mr. Templar.
Oh, thanks.
No, I didn't catch his name, but it's someone who went to school with you.
I know. I'll bet it's Fatso. Why, you're not Fatso.
I suppose I should say thank you, but certainly you're not Miss Maddox.
Why, of course I am.
Now, don't tell me she's changed that much since your school days.
I'm afraid I'm the one who's changed. As a matter of fact, I feel myself changing slightly this very moment.
Oh, well, when you find the right Virginia Maddox, you can both have a laugh over this.
Yes, a good long laugh.
Yeah, I think the time to laugh is right now. And you can all join in. You see, this is the Virginia Maddox I'm looking for.
I beg your pardon?
There's a foreign car, an Assetto Fascini, at the central garage, registered to a Virginia Maddox at this address.
Why, of course, it's mine.
Yours?
Oh, it's mine, all right. Although, naturally, I don't drive it. You see, I'm only 8.
And if you lived in California, you'd have been driving it for years.
I'm afraid I don't understand what you're trying to say.
I'm not saying, Mrs. Anders. I'm asking. Did you ever hear of a man named Blanco?
Blanco? No, I don't believe I ever have.
I haven't. Have you, Carson?
No, Miss Virginia, I don't... Wait a minute. When I took the Asada down to the garage the other day, there's a new mechanic there. I think his name is Blanco.
Now, that's interesting.
You're a detective. That's what you are. A detective.
No, Virginia. Besides, if I were a detective, I'd know the answer to something Carson just said without having to ask.
And what does that mean?
Suppose you tell me.
What?
How you knew that the new mechanic's name was Blanco when even the men who worked with him thought it was Stevens.
Well, maybe it was another man.
I'll tell you what I mean, Carson. You're the first real link, the first hopeful sign that I'm heading in the right direction.
Look here, what is this all about?
Virginia, didn't I just hear your doll cry?
Oh, Mr. Templar, I haven't played with dolls since I was a child.
Oh, yes, of course. I should have known.
You don't have to make an excuse, Mr. Templar. I know you want me to leave the room. You want to talk grown-up talk.
Virginia, you're the most fascinating woman I've met in years. But there are a few questions I want Carson to answer.
Mister, whatever your name is, I'll give you just 3 seconds to put up your hands.
Very well, if you insist.
And now, sir, I should like to know what you mean by forcing your way into this house.
But Uncle Roger, can't you see? He's a detective, just like in the comic book.
Exactly. Fire that gun, sir, and I'll bleed ink all over this handsome carpet.
He forced his way in on the pretense of seeing Virginia, Mr. Pierce. But it appears that it was really Carson he wanted to see.
You know this man, Carson?
No, Mr. Pierce. I never saw him before. His name is Templar.
Templar? Simon Templar?
And I'm certainly not Fatso, am I, Virginia?
No.
Oh, so you're the saint. I'm very glad to meet you.
Then, may I put my hands down?
Of course. But what is the reason for this rather strange and unsaintly visit, Mr. Templar?
Virginia, why don't you go try on your party dress? Huh? The one you're going to wear this afternoon?
Oh, I've already tried it. But how did you know I was going to Janice Fuller's party this afternoon?
We comic book detectives know everything. Is Carson going to drive you in the car?
Well, of course. The only way to get to Janice's house is by car. Unless you feel like walking all the way up the mountain.
Mountain? Yes, it would have to be a mountain, wouldn't it? Mountain road with a great many curves.
I am still waiting for your explanation, Templar.
The child.
Leave the room, Virginia.
No, I want to
Virginia?
stay. Oh, very well. But you know I'll find out everything anyway. Carson will tell me. Won't you, Carson?
If I can, dear.
Goodbye, Mr. Templar.
Goodbye, Virginia. I've enjoyed meeting you.
Now, Mr. Templar, what did you want to see us about?
About murder, Mr. Pierce. One that was committed a few hours back and another one that I hope to prevent. It's scheduled to take place in a few hours from now.
What?
Mr. Templar, please explain.
A few hours ago, I was paid a call by a hoodlum named Blanco. This led to a brief but informative conversation with a lady barfly named Violet, which in turn led to an interesting half hour with a limousine named Isata Frashini. And so, here I am.
I'm afraid I don't...
I'm afraid I don't understand either. All that's clear to me as of now is that there's been a murder, and there's a good chance there's going to be another one.
Murder? Who was murdered, Mr. Templar?
The aforementioned hoodlum, Blanco. But shed no tears. He'll be missed only by the manufacturers of small arms ammunition who, I'm afraid, are going to notice a rather remarkable drop in their sales.
What?
It's the car that I'm here about, Mr. Pierce. The Isata Frashini that spends its spare time at the central garage. The registration slip says that it lives here.
Yes, that's our car. It is the central garage we use, Carson, is it not?
Yes, sir.
I understand the car is owned by that charming child, although she informs me she doesn't actually drive.
Yes, the car is hers.
Mr. Pierce, I hope you won't think I have an ulterior motive. I'm a little old for Virginia, but she's loaded.
She's extremely wealthy.
Right.
You see, Mr. Templar, shortly before Virginia's father died in South America, he drew up a will giving the child his entire fortune. I was designated her guardian until she comes of age.
Oh, then you're not really her uncle.
I'm an uncle in name only.
Oh, I see. Tell me something. Where in South America did the child's father die?
In Honduras.
That's Central America.
Oh, is it? Why, I do believe it is. Why do you ask, Mr. Templar?
I wasn't really asking. I was shooting in the dark.
What?
When I return to this house in an hour or two, Mr. Pierce, we must all have another delightful talk. It will be a different kind of talk, perhaps, but nonetheless delightful.
But what in heaven's name?
Later, Mr. Pierce, later. Right now I have a date with a lady with violet hair who thinks I'm a bottle of scotch.
Yes, who is it?
Package.
Package. I didn't order any. Package from what? What is this?
Hello, Violet. I'd like to have a talk with you.
A talk. Say, look here, I don't know who you are, but...
If you'll let me in, I'll...
No, I...
Come on.
What do you mean by forcing your way in here?
Argument, while always stimulating, takes time, and I don't have much time.
What's this all about?
Blanco's dead.
Blanco. What's that to me, Copper?
I'm not the police. My name is Simon Templar.
The same?
And you're Violet Kane, Frank Kane's wife.
Widow.
Yeah, that's another argument we're not going to have time for.
You're nuts. If Frank were alive, I'd know it. Drink?
No,
There, that's better. All right, we can talk now. What's Blanco's murder got to do with me?
you're next on the list. Hey, you dropped your glass.
What do you mean by that crack? There's nobody... I don't feel so good.
May I help you?
No, What? Who'd want to kill me?
Somebody who's related to you. I'm not sure who.
Related to me, but I've only got one... I don't feel so good.
What is it?
Oh, it burns.
Violet, come on, now let me...
No, listen to me. Picture on the table. Only relative.
Hello there, Morgan.
Oh, why, it's Mr. Templar.
What brings you out in the cream of the day? I'd imagine a man who runs an after-hours saloon would naturally indulge in after-hours sleep.
As a matter of fact, I was just about to go home, on my way to pick up my car.
Not by any chance at the central garage?
Oh, yes. How'd you know?
Deduction.
That's incredible.
Not too incredible. It's easy enough to deduce that a man would keep his car in a garage that he happens to be the owner of.
Oh, so you know that, too. There isn't very much you miss, is there, Mr. Templar?
Murder has a way of sharpening one's senses.
Murder?
A man named Blanco. Shall we go into the garage?
Right behind you. You said his name was Blanco?
Yeah. And just now, Violet Kane.
Violet dead? But
How?
Someone evidently thought her whiskey would have a bigger kick with a pinch of poison in the bottle. It did.
It's ghastly.
Terrible.
But who did this thing?
You did.
Me? I realize it's rather early in the day for a man to be at his best, but don't you think that joke is in bad taste?
If it were a joke, it would be. Ah, the Asata. Beautiful automobile that child owns, isn't it? Look at those lines. So sleek, so graceful. Get in, Morgan.
Get in.
It's a perfect morning for a drive. I don't think anyone would mind if we took her out. You see, I'm rather friendly with the owner. She likes me. To her, I'm a character straight out of her favorite comic book. Get in, Morgan.
No, thanks.
Why not? We'll take her climbing. I'd like to see what she'll do on a mountain road. Road with a couple of hairpin curves. Come on.
No, some other time, Saint.
Won't be another time. Or didn't you see the beautiful job Blanco did on the tie rod?
No.
Sawed through until it's hanging together by the proverbial hair. One sharp turn, like the turns you'd find on a mountain road, and the steering system collapses. And there's an accident. Yeah. Yeah, Blanco did an excellent job until he learned who the victim was to be. It was too much for even his stomach.
Oh, you're dreaming. Why would anybody want to wreck an expensive bus like this?
A little girl who was going to a party on top of a mountain this afternoon has too much money, Morgan. If she should happen to fall off that mountain in this car, some happy next of kin would have a very happy fortune.
Well, that lets me out, Saint. I'm nobody's next of kin.
There was a picture Violet pointed out to me before she died. A snapshot taken at a wedding. And do you know who the bride and groom were?
Okay, we've talked long enough, Saint. Frank Kane left a lot of money when he died. I'm too close to it.
That's another mistake you made, Morgan.
Huh?
Who's me, Frank Kane?
Kane? Say, what are you pulling your Carson, the chauffeur?
Carson's only his nom de plastic surgery. It's Kane with a new name and a new face.
Yeah, but with the same old trigger eye.
Kane, are you...
Yeah, but never mind me. Don't let him get away.
You took care of that. You're the one who didn't let him get away, Kane. A man loses all inclination to run when there's a bullet in his kneecap. He'll keep until the police come.
Good. Saint, Virginia, little girl. See,
Look, don't try to talk now.
Gotta tell you. See that she...
Don't worry, Kane. Your daughter will be safe. I'm going to make sure of that right now.
It's beyond belief, Mr. Templar.
What sort of fiend could even dream of harming that child?
It was a team of fiends, Mr. Pierce. And one of the fiends has just given up his membership in the inhuman race.
There were two of them?
Yes, Miss Anders, two of them. Morgan and someone else. Someone who would be Virginia's only surviving relative once Violet Kane, the child's mother, had been erased from the picture. The only surviving relative and inheritor of the child's fortune.
But we know of no relatives, do we, Roger?
There was only Frank Kane, her father, but legally, at least, he was dead.
Now he's dead in fact as well. But there is another relative. I'm amazed that you don't know.
Who?
Violet pointed to a wedding picture as she was dying. It was your wedding picture, Miss Anders. You were the bride. Morgan was the groom.
Yes. I was married to Morgan once. But surely that doesn't mean that I...
Look here, Templar, this is preposterous.
It would be even more preposterous if Violet hadn't had a sentimental nature.
What do you mean?
A snapshot. She wrote the names of each member of the wedding party on the snapshot.
The names?
Mm-hmm. She had your name written. Rose, isn't it? And what makes the photograph really interesting is the man standing next to the groom. It was you, Mr. Pierce.
Of course it was me. Is it a crime to attend a wedding or have one's name written on a picture?
No, but in this case it solves a crime. Because, Mr. Pierce, under your picture, Violet affectionately wrote, "My dear brother, Roger."
What, you...
Don't bother. I'm sure I've been called it before. Come on, brother. We're going visiting. There's a new district attorney downtown who's dying to make himself a reputation. Virginia, I've brought you a present.
Oh, Mr. Templar, you shouldn't have. But I'm so glad you did.
Well, go on, open it. did tell me once that you hadn't played with dolls since you were a child, but...
Mr. Templar, I'll tell you a secret.
What, Virginia?
I just said that to be sophisticated.
Something tells me that a certain young man named Fatso is going to be trimmed right down to your size.
You have been listening to another transcribed adventure of the Saint, the Robin Hood of modern crime. And now, here is our star, Vincent Price.
Ladies and gentlemen, in tonight's cast, you heard Maggie Morley as Violet and Anne Whitfield as Little Virginia. Edmund McDonald played Blanco, Jack Moyles, Carson. Ted Von Eltz was Roger, Irene Tedrow, Mrs. Anders. Morgan was played by Barney Phillips, and the Garage Man by Jerry Hausner. This is Vincent Price inviting you to join us again next week at this same time for another exciting adventure of the Saint. Good night.
This adventure of the Saint was written by Michael Cramoy. The Saint, based on characters created by Leslie Charteris, is a James L. Safier production and is directed by Helen Mack. Vincent Price is soon to be seen co-starring in RKO's production of His Kind of Woman. And all you Saint fans will be glad to know that the Saint comic books are on sale at all newsstands. This is Don Stanley speaking.
We delayed the start of this program to bring you a special news bulletin. From the NBC newsroom in New York, 2 fresh columns of North Korean troops have crossed the Han River and are moving southward below Seoul. 2 other invader columns have outflanked the town and airstrip of Suwon on the east. And a spokesman at a U.S. advanced headquarters in Korea says the defense situation has definitely worsened in the past 24 hours. Keep tuned to your NBC station for the later news.
The Adventures of the Saint, starring Vincent Price. The Saint, based on characters created by Leslie Charteris and known to millions from books, magazines, and motion pictures. The Robin Hood of modern crime now comes to radio, starring Hollywood's brilliant and talented actor Vincent Price as the Saint.
Hello, Templar's Mortuary.
Mr. Simon Templar?
Unfortunately.
Littleton is calling.
What time is it?
At the sound of the... I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to give that information. Littleton is calling.
All right, put him on.
One moment, please. Hello?
Hello?
Is this Simon Templar?
Yes, it is.
Well, my name is Shirley Gray. Please, I need you...
Yes? Go on. Hello?
Sammy.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, well, I was just calling you at the theater.
You knew I was with the cops. Hang it up.
All right. Hello? I'm sorry I bothered you. Sammy just got back.
Hello? Hello?
Your party has hung up, sir.
So they have, thank you. Shirley Gray. Shirley Gray. Oh, of course.
Homicide, Lieutenant Schwartz.
Guess who?
Oh, no. Templar? No.
You hate me, don't you?
Templar, this is the Homicide Bureau. I am up to the cleft of my rugged chin in work. I got maniacs confessing to murders that never happened. I got murderers caught in the act who say, who, me? And now, I got Templar.
Yes, Lieutenant?
Templar, you got something to say? Say it.
Anyone for badminton?
Templar,
Okay, Lieutenant. I just want some information.
Read the newspapers, Templar. They whip up the crime waves. I don't.
Well, then, what do journalism's juvenile delinquents have to say about events in the city of Littleton today?
You don't know?
I couldn't even guess.
Well, stay happy. Go back to bed.
Lieutenant, I'll write a letter to the Times.
Okay, Templar, have it your way. You ever hear of a band leader named Terry Richards?
Of course. You mean the one they call the real gone guy?
I hope to hold your half note, Templar. He's real gone, all right. So gone he's dead. He was strangled.
Oh? Well, thank you, Lieutenant, for your first exclusive.
Look, if you're figuring to butt in, Templar, I wouldn't.
Now, you know me.
You remember Lieutenant Ruggles?
Old meathead?
Old meathead.
Yeah.
Well, he's now chief of police at Littleton. You'd better stay out of his way.
Well, I wouldn't dream of getting in his way. Or would I?
I'm not kidding, Templar. Terry Richards was a real big name. Ruggles wants this one for himself. You get in his way, he'll have you so deep in the pokey, they'll be feeding you with a pea shooter. And hey, on second thought, is that bad?
Lieutenant.
Yes, Templar.
Did someone spike your bubble gum this morning?
Yes, Templar.
Goodbye, pal. Don't sneeze into the breeze.
Yes, sir?
I'd like to go backstage, please, Mr. Doorman.
Well, it's possible to get there if your cultural development is at a certain level.
Well, I'm fond of Mondrian.
I collect Americana. I am fond of portraits of those men who have become our presidents. I am especially cheered by portraits of Lincoln, done, of course, on fine paper in black, bordered and shaded in hues and shades of green, which one finds so cool and comforting.
Your taste is admirable. It happens that I, here you are.
Why, perfect specimen. Pass, friend.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Mr. Templar.
You know me? You expected me?
Miss Gray hoped for you. She described you.
Still, it cost me $5.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Miss Gray is in her dressing room. First corridor to your right, and first door to the left.
Oh, thank you. Say, tell me something. Is this the same Shirley Gray who sings ballads so wonderfully?
The same. But she sings them no more. Merlo Rooney El Rowdy.
You swallowed something?
Bop. That's what the great Terry Richards played.
Oh, I gather you were not a fan of the late Mr. Richards.
The man who knocked him off was a hero.
I see.
Miss Gray is the only nice person in the band. Take care of her, will you?
You think she needs taking care of?
There's a killer running around, Mr. Templar. Of course, if he's just after another musician, that's all right.
Patillo's going to hate you in the morning.
He wouldn't dare. First corridor to your right, first door to the left, Mr. Templar.
You frightened me. You're...
Simon Templar, Secretary, Shirley Gray, Fan Club, Cell 3, Group 2, currently underground at Toots Shores.
Oh, Mr. Templar, I'm so glad.
Who is Sammy?
He's... What do you mean?
Well, all the way down here, I've been asking myself, why would Shirley Gray call me? And after calling, why would she hang up just because a man named Sammy entered the room? You see, I'm just the old curious one.
Well, I want you to do one thing for me. Find out who killed Terry Richards.
Now, that's a job for the police, isn't it?
Well, they might get the wrong person.
Sammy, for instance?
Well, they might not find out in time. Somebody else might get killed.
The doorman seems to have had the same thought. What brings it on?
Well, no one knows why Terry was killed. Nobody liked him, but nobody hated him enough to kill him. This is almost the work of a maniac. There was no reason for it.
You mean no one was ambitious, jealous, frustrated?
Oh, don't talk like that.
You're hiding something from Simon.
Please don't joke. I found Terry's body. I called the police, and they said he must have been strangled with a stout, thin cord, but...
Well?
Well, they're wrong about it and about everything else. He was strangled with a...
What's this? Another cop?
Oh, Sammy, this is Simon Templar, the saint. Simon,
I told you to let it alone, Shirley. Get out, Templar.
I'm happy to know you too, friendly one.
Look, Templar, we're being held in this offbeat burg and we can't get out. I'm spending all my time at the jail answering the silly questions of these cornball cops. And now you. I've got rehearsals to do. Now, will you get out?
Oh, no, Sammy. No, not rehearsals already. Why, Terry hasn't even been...
Yes, Sammy. Why are you so anxious to get in rehearsal?
We've got a contract for a concert tour. That's what we were doing in this corn palace, warming up for the tour. The band's got to be in shape in a week or the contract is canceled. No contract, no tour. No tour, no band. No band. We're in a panic. Do you see?
No. Just where do you fit in here?
I like money. I eat it.
It's cheaper than food these days.
Besides, if we make out, the agency is giving me the band. I got it coming. It's like Terry had what happened coming to him.
Oh, Sammy.
Well, Terry was a Slav, and you know it.
You are a man of grace and charm, Sammy.
Send him away, Shirley. Get him out of here.
Gentle psychotic, isn't he? As we jazz lovers say, this routine is murder.
Oh, I'll talk to him. Will you wait for me, Simon?
Need you ask?
May I come in, Mr. Templar?
Of course. Say, how did you know me?
I talked Shirley into calling you. My name's Dick Carver.
Oh. You're with the band?
All I do is beat these lousy drums. You ever hear that joke?
Yeah, to the point of nausea. Who killed Terry Richards?
I don't know. The cops thought Shirley might have because she found him, but it wasn't Shirley. I had her call you so you could prove it was someone else.
Well, what was she doing in his dressing room? Was it her habit to go there? Look, Carvis, dear boy, if you want me to help
Okay. Lay out the 4 bars and I'll give you the score. I understood Terry Richards. I didn't like him any more than anybody else, but I did understand him. I've been with him since the year 1. Sammy has, too, only he played a 3-year job with the Army.
Sammy called Terry a slob.
Yeah. Before the war, Sammy and Terry started this band. Terry funded it, Sammy arranged and conducted rehearsals. The man sent him greetings, and he went into the paratroops and came back tough and hard. I thought he'd kill Terry when he found out Terry had cut in for 100% of the band. I remember his hands were just aching.
Why did he come back with Terry?
Terry was up here, Mac. Number 1. He was willing to pay for Sammy's talent and pay good. That's the only way he could keep anybody, including Shirley. Poor kid. It wasn't enough she had to work for him. She had to go along with him a little way if she wanted her job. And she did.
Why? Why, she used to be the biggest name on radio without Terry Richards. How did she ever become a band singer?
Oh, canaries are hard to figure. Maybe that's the question you've got to answer.
This Terry Richards seems to have been a dismal kind of snail.
Well, I admired him, Mr. Templar, for one reason. He knew how to compete. Fight, cheat, steal, hit below the belt, but stay on top. He had one philosophy, and it fit this world great. Hooray for me and nuts to you. If I could have had that, I'd have done all right. I'd have been bigger than Terry Richards. But I haven't got it. I admired the man who had it.
This has been an enchanting recital of the foibles of humanity, but who killed Terry Richards?
I wish you'd find out.
Why are you so anxious, dear?
Because without Terry, this band can still go places. Oh, we needed him like the Met needs Carmen Lombardo. Now Sammy will be in charge, don't you see? And he'll give everybody a chance, even me.
What do you mean?
Well, Terry wouldn't give any of us a chance to shine. We always had to feature his guitar. Well, we got a real gone arrangement of Temptation. Just me on timps and Shirley on voice. Real gone. But Terry wouldn't even
What
listen.
I've heard of progressive music as a sample, I'd say it hasn't gone quite far enough. It's still in the range of hearing.
Oh, now, Mr. Templar. That's Shirley.
Come on, let's go.
This way, the green room. Good heavens, Shirley.
Out of the way. Call the cops. Hurry.
Oh, Mr. Templar.
Are you all right, Simon?
Oh, yes, Angel. I'll be all right. Hey, I thought you were dead.
She just fainted, Templar.
Did you call the police, Dick?
Between giving her smelling salts and bathing your head, I haven't had much of a chance.
What, as they say in the whodunits, happened?
Well, somebody slugged you from behind and pushed me through the door and slammed it.
Oh, my neck. Oof, there must have been a rabbit punch.
Do you want a doctor, Simon?
Dear heart, I want an answer. By the way, what did happen to you?
Well, I argued with Sammy for a while, and then I came over here, and I picked up Sammy's baton, and this was wrapped around it.
Wait till I stand up. Oh, that floor was so comfortable. Hey, what is this thing?
It's an E string from a guitar.
Huh.
It's what was used to kill Terry.
Probably from his own guitar.
Probably someone had a sense of poetic justice, a guitar string for a guitarist. Let me see that thing. Ow!
What's the matter?
I pulled it tight. It cut into my hands. Hey, wait a minute. Did you know Terry was killed with an E string, Shirley?
Well, it was beside him when I found him. Between the time I called the police and the time they got here, someone had taken it.
Shirley, my sweet, Emily Post has it that when one is in possession of evidence or information about evidence, one tells the cops, or one suffers, one does.
Well, I was afraid.
But you see, you are more afraid now. This thing is a warning for Sammy, for you, or for everybody. Hey, by the way, where is Sammy? Why didn't he come running when he heard you scream?
Same reason I knew she was in the green room and not his dressing room. His room is soundproof.
Well, I move that we adjourn to Sammy's little cell and see.
No.
Shirley, you're not going to be stubborn.
All right, let's go.
Something tells me we've got to break it down.
Oh,
E string again.
All right, Dick, now.
The cops?
The cops.
But Sammy
We'll take care of Sammy, I hope.
Mr. Templar, I have answered the questions of the police. I have answered the questions of my wife. Now you want me to answer your question.
My friend, as doorman of this house of culture, you are in a most enviable position. You see who goes and who comes. Now, let me review the bidding. The famous Terry Richards...
The infamous Terry Richards?
Nonetheless, he was killed. A bumbling, murderous toad came within a minute of killing Sammy today. The same wart-brained idiot delivered a rabbit punch to my neck. I only want to be sure it was no outside force. Do you follow me?
As the Animal Act follows the acrobats, Mr. Templar. But I must repeat, no insidious force has come through these portals. Unless that force be you, and you should hear Chief Ruggles on the subject of you. Police.
You don't like the police?
Mr. Templar, the police were put on this earth for one reason, so that so-called musicians could arise in the morning with the assurance that somewhere on earth there was someone lower on the scale of human beings.
You could be censored for that. Tell me, are you here all the time?
Mr. Templar, there are matters one does not discuss with just any stranger.
Oh? Touche, I'm sure. I simply want to learn who could be a murderer. That's all. It's a simple want. Some people want food. I want a murderer. Some people want a new apartment. I want a sneaky, soft-pedaled thug who could walk so softly he would be unheard. And who would slug me from behind.
Even I could do that, Mr. Templar. I wear sneakers. They're relaxing. I could come upon you so quietly.
So you could. I'll give it thought. Thank you so very much.
It was nothing, Mr. Templar.
I know. Nothing. Are you feeling better, Sammy?
Templar, are you still around?
You're not happy with me, Sammy.
Sammy, please. If it weren't for Mr. Templar, you might be dead.
No. If he hadn't shown up, it wouldn't have happened. He got a hold of something and scared somebody, that's all.
Whom did I frighten, Sammy? You?
What do you mean?
It occurs to me that if I were a person so willed and so frightened, I could hold a wire about my neck and induce unconsciousness.
You've got rocks in your head, Templar. Why don't you leave it alone? Let the cops have
Because
it.
somebody slugged me, Sammy, and I'm very sensitive about such things.
Why don't you two stop fighting? This is serious. Somebody else is going to get hurt.
Yes, and I hereby nominate Simon Templar.
I must decline because of the press of business. Look, instead of us arguing like this, why don't you go rehearse?
Oh, great. Now he's going to run the band, too.
No, but at least you'll be out of my hair for a while.
Oh,
Sammy has an abrupt personality. Well, Shirley, we're alone.
Simon, are you getting anywhere?
The answer to that would have to come from your own lovely lips. You're very sweet, Shirley. To see you as you are now, as they say in the soap operas, it does something to me, dear.
Well, suppose whoever it is gets away with it. Suppose he succeeds next time, kills Sammy or me.
Tell me, Shirley, did you kill Terry?
What did you say?
I said, did you kill Terry and try to kill Sammy?
Simon!
I'm very rude. My analyst tells me. Oh, never mind my analyst. I hate him. You didn't answer my question.
No, I didn't kill Terry. You satisfied?
Eminently. Tell me something, Shirley. A couple of years ago, you were going great guns as a soloist. I remember reading something about a big recording contract. I had your recording of April in Paris. It was one of the best things I ever heard.
I'm still getting royalties on it.
How is it that you came to work with a band? What happened that you gave up your contracts and your big career? Why do you stay with this band?
Is my career pertinent?
I don't know, but I do know that we're going to have this cleared up very soon.
Oh, do you really think so?
Mm-hmm. I've got something right on the tip of my mind. Can't quite get hold of it, but I will. And if we can clear it up in time and Sammy has the band in shape, you'll be hitting the road, so you'd better be in shape.
But
Why don't you go to your dressing now and rest, huh? Go on. It'll do you good.
Well, all right, if you say so.
I'll walk with you. Is that idea of Dick's about temptation going to work out, really?
I don't know, Simon. I'm not too crazy about it, but maybe it will. I hope so for Dick's sake.
Dick's sake?
Yes. You know, every time Sammy wrote an arrangement so Dick would have some breaks, Terry would insist that it be rewritten for his guitar. And poor Dick would just sit up and keep a rhythm. As he said, all he does is play those lousy drums.
Yes, it might be a break for Dick at that. He's a nice fella. He's got something coming, I should suppose.
Well, this is where I drop off. What are you going to do?
Oh, I don't know. Catch a murderer, maybe?
Oh, hello, Mr. Templer.
Oh, no, don't stop playing. Go right ahead, Dick.
Oh, I was just passing the time of day. You having any luck?
Well, I'm about to step out of the store window and call for Philip Marlowe.
Well, if there's anything I can do, or any of the fellas for that matter, I know they'll help.
I thought they were all happy to see your late maestro go. That was the impression I had.
Now, Sammy might give you that impression, or that whacked-up doorkeeper out there. But I don't think anybody likes to see somebody murdered, especially when they know the killer is still on the loose.
Mm-hmm, but you fellas seem to be taking it in stride.
Some people, yes, some people, no. Me, I'm worried.
Oh, take it easy now. Say, you certainly need a lot of paraphernalia in your trade.
Yeah, cymbals, chimps, bongo, tambourine.
What are these things?
These? These are clays.
What are they for?
Set a rhythm to the Latin American stuff. Here, let me show you. See? Very simple.
Yes, indeed. Very simple. Yeah, this is quite an array of stuff for one who just beats the drum.
That's all I do. Beat these lousy drums.
Well, I have to do some more snooping, Dick. I'll see you around.
Okay, Mr. Templer.
Lousy drum.
Hey, what's the idea of busting in here?
Sammy, I've got 2 questions for you if you're interested in finding Terry Richards' killer.
I'm not.
Number 1, you were in the paratroops?
Yes, I was in the paratroops.
Number 2, did you make patrols behind the lines where you had to kill a man with your own hands?
You scum.
I asked you a question, did you?
That's my answer. Now get out of here. And if I set eyes on you again, I'll...
Kill me, Sammy?
Get out!
I think I'd feel much better if you'd take my head in your lap and bathe my face. I'd feel much better.
Oh, Simon, stop it. You know, you shouldn't have just barged in on Sammy like that. He has a temper, and he doesn't like to be reminded of... Well, you just should have been more diplomatic.
I was. Diplomacy, my dear girl, is not always a matter of kid gloves.
Oh, Simon, why don't you give it up? I'm awfully sorry I got you into this.
I'm not at all. It's well worth everything just to sit here and have your sympathy and... Hey, Shirley.
Simon, what's the matter?
That dress form. Round the neck of it. An E string.
Oh, Simon,
Never mind, Shirley. I think I know what it means now, all of it.
But why me? Do I know something? What is it?
No, you don't know anything, but you've done something. Yes, it figures.
Oh, Simon.
Now, don't cry, Shirley. Tell me, did Sammy get someone to take Terry's place with the guitar?
No.
Good. First, we'll take care of that for him.
But I...
Second, you're going to make sure the public address system is warmed up in the wings so I can use it. And third, you're going to tell Sammy and Dick you want to run through temptation.
Oh, no, Simon, I couldn't.
Make like that tired old gag. You know, the show must go on. It's one of the most important things in your life. And I want you to do just as I say, or I'm afraid you're not going to have a life to have important things happen in.
Okay, let's take it once and then forget it. No count. It's up to you, Dick. Take it in the downbeat.
You ready, Maestro?
Yeah.
Okay, now, remember what you're to do.
Ready, Shirley?
Yeah, Sammy.
Dick, roll it.
You came, I was alone. I should have known you were temptation. You smile, luring me on. My heart was gone. You were temptation.
Okay, Maestro, it's yours.
get away from me, Templar. I'll kill you.
Your killing days are over, son. All over.
What are you trying to do, Templar? You trying to louse up the whole band?
The music you play hasn't loused up your band. How could I possibly
Why,
do
you
it? Simon will clip you.
Dick, how could it... I don't understand.
We understand, don't we, Dick?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sammy, if you will call the cops, I'll tell Dick a little story about a man who was very ambitious, who wanted to be big and important like Terry Richards, who didn't want anybody to get in the way of his ambitions, who admired selfishness and ruthlessness. That's about the story we'll tell, isn't it, Dick?
All I do is beat these lousy drums. All I do is beat these lousy drums.
Why did he try to kill me, Simon?
Quiet, dear. Just remain as you are. Isn't this romantic?
Simon, you should know
Oh,
that...
I do know. He killed Terry because, as you said, Terry took all the licks. What you say, that Dick thought belonged to him. Then he got real ambitious. He wanted to be like Krupa, have his own band, and he tried to kill Sammy. Then he could fight for the leadership of a band that was already great.
Oh, it's so awful.
Dear heart and gentle woman, it's so wonderful.
Simon.
I mean meeting you.
Oh, but when did you first suspect?
That you're wonderful.
No, that Dick was the killer.
I was puzzled that someone had used a guitar string for the purpose of strangling Terry Richards. It cuts into the hands, and there's no purchase unless it's wound around the hands, and that gives no wire for strangulation. Then I came across the claves and Dick's drums, and everything fell into place.
I see. You know, I remember when Sammy got back from the army and we had a party, and he got drunk and told us how they used to kill the enemy with wire, the ends of which were tied to batons to give them, what did you say, purchase?
Sure. You're making Simon sound anticlimactic, and that's not in the contract.
Oh, I'm sorry, Simon. You really did a good job, but...
Now, just stay as you are, dear.
Oh, Simon...
Well, in any event, Dick remembered Sammy's tales of the paratroops. He tied the ends of the guitar strings to the claves he used for Latin American rhythms. And then he approached his victims from the rear, looped the wire over their heads and curtains.
Ooh, how terrible.
It was very clever. When you screamed and fainted and we came to you, he stepped behind me and slugged me. Then he ran to make his pass at killing Sammy. He wasn't clever enough to take his time and make it thorough.
Oh, I think it's so gruesome.
I think it's wonderful.
Oh, Simon, you can't.
But I do. The more I explain, the more you shiver. And the more you shiver, the closer you come. And it's wonderful.
Oh, will you please listen to me for a moment?
No, dear, you're upset. You'll be going back to the city now. You know, I think that monster Chief Ruggles will release all of you. Why don't you have dinner at my place? Just you and me. You'll like my place. I have a fine collection of modern art, especially Picasso.
You're inviting me to come up and see your Picasso?
My dear, when one as charming as you comes to my place, it's not to see the Picassos, but the handwriting on the wall.
What are you doing with my wife, Templar? My wife.
Oh, how depressing.
Simon, that's what I've been trying to tell you. You asked why I stayed with this band and gave up my other career. Well, it's because Sammy and I have been secretly married for 6 months.
Oh, no.
Well, that's why I called you. I was afraid when the police found out, they'd think that Sammy killed Terry because of jealousy.
I would still like to know, Templar, what you were doing with your arm around my wife.
I was consoling her.
Oh. I've got some consolation for you.
Sammy, I wouldn't advise violence. I'm ready this time.
Violence? You've got me all wrong. Chief Ruggles.
Sammy.
Well, what do you want? You still looking for Templar? What else? Here he is.
Oh, no.
Templar.
Hello, Chief.
I want to talk to you. Say goodbye to the nice man, Shirley.
Goodbye, Simon. And thanks.
Dear, my sweet. We'll meet again.
Over my dead body.
I'll try to arrange it.
You have been listening to another adventure of the Saint, the Robin Hood of modern crime. And now here's our star, Vincent Price.
Ladies and gentlemen, in tonight's cast, you heard Vivi Janis, Larry Dobkin, Lou Merrill, Jack Edwards, and Bill Johnstone. This is Vincent Price inviting you to join us again next week at this same time for another exciting adventure of the Saint. Good night.
Based on characters created by Leslie Charteris, is a James L. Safier production and is directed by Helen Mack.
Vincent Price is soon to be seen in the Universal International picture Curtain Call at Cactus Creek. And all you Saint fans will be glad to know that the Saint comic books are on sale at all newsstands.
Good night, everybody. For anybody who showed, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.